Welcome to Kranky Live, the show where bold minds meet real talk. This isn't your average sports or news show. It's where we break down sports, culture, and controversy with facts, fire, and fearless honesty. Here, truth cuts through the noise, and hype gets exposed. From football to track and field, from world issues to local debates, we ask the tough questions, speak without fear, and go deeper than the headlines. We don't follow the crowd, we set the trend. While others recycle the same tired takes, we bring fresh insight, unfiltered analysis, and bold perspectives. No echo chambers, no puppet talk, just real conversation for people who think for themselves. Listen with your brain, not just your ears. Think critically, question boldly, and speak freely. This is Kranky Live, where reason rules the mic and truth always win. Come on, let's get into it. Well, good afternoon. Let me know if you can hear me in YouTube land. And I'm always rushing to complete this thing. Bless up, everyone. Welcome. As you come into the chat, hit the like button, subscribe, and share the channel. Bless up, Drew Ross. How you doing, Drew Ross? Drew Ross started with Glory to Man United. We'll see. Everybody this time of the year, people is enthusiastic. We are back. We're back again, as Wemnino would say from formerly of AFTV. Back again. It's been an interesting prior season where, as you know, we are champions, Arsenal Football Club, after 22 years. And then we had the World Cup, which Spain showed you what a team does and what a system does. And then we have Arsenal back again with the same team or similar team with some very tactical or strategic, I should say, not even tactical additions to the squad. So we're looking forward to the season. It should be a very good season. We're playing Coventry tonight, which should be an interesting game. Coventry, coached by Frank Lampard, the brilliant midfielder formerly of Chelsea, will be playing us tonight. They won the championship. Wasn't the sort of Division 1 senior league for a long time, then got relegated, almost went to administration, but are back again. Probably should have came up last year, but came up this year. I'm looking forward to create some upset. And by the way, we do have 2 Jamaicans in their squad, but I don't see Mason Clark. I'm not sure what's happening. But Latty's on the bench, for those of you who are Jamaicans. And Ellie Sims is not playing centre forward for them. He has Jamaican heritage, so should be interesting. It's the opening game. I'm sure them coming in will think about the fact that it's their first time back in the league for a while. They want to do well. They want to play well. They want to give a good showing. And Arsenal want to show what champions are made of. So it should be really good. Because we have to make sure that we're not overly enthusiastic about this game. We don't get too excited, which may create a problem for ourselves. We can't afford to do that. We're here to win tonight, put Coventry to bed early and move on. Now, Arsenal did bring in some players in the summer. They did bring in Guimaraes, who's not on the bench today, or not in the starting lineup. Looked like he picked up a knock in the Community Shield. By the way, in the Community Shield, Arsenal played Man City, and we know what happened. So Lewis Kelly then retained his place. Declan Rice comes in the field, comes on the team, and I'll show you the lineup. In fact, maybe I'll do that now, actually, because I think it's an interesting lineup for Arsenal. And it's also interesting about who's not even in the squad, which makes it interesting. So you see the squad there for Arsenal. As you can see, Raya is in goal, not surprising. Timber is still out, so Ben White. Bless up, Peter, how are you doing? Ben White is starting. Mascara is in the middle with Gabriel, and Califiero, who scored in the Community Shield, is there. Am I missing somebody? 3, 6, 9, 10. I'm missing a player. What the hell is wrong with me? I need to add a player to this list. I'm missing a player from this list. I'm missing, now we have Saka, Havertz, Rice, Lewis Kelly. I'm missing Odegaard. Why am I missing Odegaard? That's not good, Kranky. All right. I'm missing Odegaard for some reason. I was rushing to put this list together. Can't count. All right, so let me add Odegaard to this. So Odegaard is in the team. And he's been brilliant, by the way. In the World Cup and now in the Community Shield, he was different class. So we do have Ben White, Mascara, Calafiori, Lewis Kelly in the middle with Rice and Odegaard, and then Saka, Havertz, and Solis up front. I can't show you I don't have it here, the substitute bench, but Martinelli, who didn't make the bench for the Community Shield, is not on the bench. And I can tell you that Martinelli will be sold. He'll be sold. No doubt about that. He will be sold. So let me read out the bench. And it's unfortunate, actually, because Martinelli has been a great servant for Arsenal. So we have on the bench, we have Kepa, Nkape, Eze, Gokares, Madueke, shockingly, Nwaneri. I don't even understand that. I thought they're saying he's probably going to be sold. Maybe he's on the bench because we don't have Guimaraes tonight. Marino, Zubamendi, and Dalman. What's interesting in this team is that Zubamendi's on the bench. Now, one could say, well, he played in the World Cup, they made the final, blah, blah, blah. Well, no, not really, because Rice and Saka were in the semifinal. Saka didn't even play in the semifinal because supposedly not fully fit. And that was only a few weeks ago. So I think Zubamendi has lost his place to Lewis Kelly, who's been brilliant, by the way. Now, if you look at Coventry, and I only know a few of these players, but they have Rushworth in goal, Da Silva, Amenda, Thomas, and Iwiki in the defense. Grimes, Yarinski, Onyeka, Tashona. I know I'm mispronouncing that. Sims and Thomas Asante up front. So it should be a good game, should be an interesting game. We'll see what Arsenal does today. One of the key conversation has been that Arsenal didn't play attractive football last year. That has been big. They didn't play attractive football. Will they continue the same trend? And also that if they want to win the Champions League, they need a superstar. Now, as many know, we pursued Vinny Jr., sort of a fruitless pursuit, actually. But we pursued Vinny Jr. Throughout the summer. That didn't materialize. He used us to get a big contract from Real Madrid. It worked. More power to him. But now what we have to do is we need to ensure that we bring in a center forward. Because Gokares is not it. We know this. Arteta knows this. I know they've been trying to get Alvarez from Atletico Madrid, and there's a discussion about a swap with Gokares and Atletico. Atletico doesn't want to sell Julian Alvarez to Barcelona, where he wants to go. And Arsenal, believe they have a chance to get him. I don't think you should pursue somebody who doesn't want to come to you, though. I think we should leave that alone. Number 9s are not a dime a dozen like they used to be, at least good number 9s. Osimhen has been discussed, but nothing there to talk about with race to Osimhen. He's not, he has a heavy price tag in terms of his wages, and I'm sure his Turkish team won a lot of money for him. But he'd be a better player than Gokares, definitely. Havertz is not a true number 9. In fact, Havertz doesn't have a position in the field. He played a position for Germany, but he's not a true 9. He's just a good footballer who can play anyway from 8 to 10 to 9. But so Arteta loves him. That's why I pay him. He's probably the second highest paid Arsenal player behind Saka. Makes a lot of money, and he scores in big games. You remember him scoring the Champions League final for Chelsea? He scored in the Community Shield the other day. He scored in the Champions League when we played against PSG. But to me, he lacks certain skill set that's needed for number 9, and that's why they want Alvarez. By the way, people, if you're in the chat, hit the like button. Let other people come and join the chat and come enjoy the football with us. So looking forward to the game this evening. It's the opening game of the season. Arsenal very enthused about where they are, what they're doing, how they're doing it. And their fans, I should say our fans, I shouldn't say they, as if I'm not an Arsenal fan. Our fans are very encouraged by what has transpired this season in terms of the opposition or the competition, what they have done or not done, and what does that mean for us as an organization and where we will go. So my expectation is that everyone is picking us to win the league, but I have this one sense of caution. Last year, after Liverpool spent £450 million and brought in Isak and Ekitike and Kirkes and all these players to add to what they had before, and they won the championship before, everyone said it was done and dusted. And we saw what happened, right? Injuries derailed their season. Now, what Arsenal has done, though, is unlike a lot of teams, Arsenal has bought what we talk about, flexible players. So Guimaraes can play 6 or 8. Solis, maybe traditional left winger, but plays both ways. We have brought in Kanza, who can play right back as well as centre back, even though he came in to cover for Saliba, who's been out for a while. And when you have back injuries, we know how that works. So it should be interesting to see how that works out going forward, actually, in terms of if we have injuries, we'll have cover, given the flexibility and the versatility of our players. Peter says, waiting they keep Martin as a versatile player. Yeah, I think Martinelli's gone, actually. He hasn't changed again today. They put in Nwaneri, so they're trying to sell Martinelli. Now, Arsenal is extremely poor in selling players. Like, probably the worst club in the world in selling players. Seriously. Gotta be the worst club. Getting nothing for players. Nothing. They have players. Players are good at what they do. And when they sell them, they get nothing for them. Little or nothing. So I wouldn't be surprised. But I know that if Martinelli sold for like 30, 40 million. Hey, Tony, how you doing? Bless up, Tony. But Martinelli, to me, if you're getting 80 million plus 5 easy add-ons for Savinho from Man City, who scored 1 goal last season. Everybody's saying Martinelli scored 1 goal last season. 1 goal in the Premier League, 7 in the Champions League, I think it was. Savinho scored 1 goal in the Premier League last season. Didn't get a lot of time at City. And he's gone for 80 million plus. What is Martinelli worth? And Savinho don't track back as well as Martinelli. And Martinelli is being played out of position. I've said this before. Martinelli is being played out of position. Martinelli is, frankly, a center forward to me. He's been clocked as the fastest player in the Premier League. Go check the stats. He's a good finisher. I bet he's a better forward than Gyökeres. You play him through the middle. And I've seen him score a number of goals on breakaways. Remember last year against City, that ball over top from Eze to him? Or we've seen it in Champions League in big games. You need to utilize his space. His problem is, if he gets too much time to think, he makes bad decisions. Right? He makes bad decisions. Yes, if Savinho is 80, then Martinelli is 100 million, easily. Now, you may ask the question, why is Arsenal going to sell a £100 million player? Because the market is way overpriced. Way overpriced. Way overpriced. Like, ridiculously overpriced. And it showed up. I don't know. Look, when you're desperate like Tottenham, and by the way, people saying Tottenham spent 300-400 million. At least Tottenham have sold well, except for Spence. Jed Spence, they got 25 million for as a joke. But they got 50 for Vukovic, right? That they sold to Brighton, even though it's almost like a trade because they did buy a player from Brighton. They overplayed for Fernandes. They overpaid for Tonali. But they had to. They keep 17 2 years in a row. So it's really interesting when you think about it as to we're trying to get rid of a player, which a lot of people want, by the way. There are a lot of teams that inquired about Martinelli. I heard about Newcastle, Turkish teams, Italian teams. But if you're outside the Premier League, unless you're a Turkish team, because they seem like they're printing money in Turkey, you can afford Martinelli. Italian teams can afford Martinelli. If you're Barcelona, if you're Real Madrid, if you're Atletico Madrid, yeah. But apart from that, if you're not a Premier League team, it's hard to afford more. And unless you're like Saudi, actually. Because Saudi seem to, even though they have the Iran war, still have printing oil money. So, Skipper says, go after the Nigerian and said, yeah, Osimhen is a good buy, but you ask yourself the question, why is it that so many people in the Premier League stay away from Osimhen? Sometimes people have baggage with them, you know. So you do ask the question, why are people not pursuing Osimhen? Why is Osimhen in Italy. Where was he at? Napoli? And then I had to go to Turkey, of all places. Expect him to go to Spain. Why isn't Barcelona pursuing Osimhen? Why is Real Madrid? Well, Real Madrid wouldn't want him now. They have Mbappe. Even though Mbappe is more of a left-sided player, but then Vinicius Junior's out there. But why no one is knocking at the door for Osimhen? His wages is like, what, 300, 350? So it's not prohibitive. At least not for Tottenham nowadays. Tottenham have money. Now, I hear a lot of people talking about Tottenham and they're going to break the old PSR, which is now squad cost ratio rules. I think people don't seem to realize how much revenues Tottenham generate. I think they generated last time more money than Arsenal, even though it may be different this year given that Arsenal won, but they generated a lot of revenues. They weren't paying a lot of people a lot of money. They have to pay for the stadium, but I'm sure they're figuring out a way to reconfigure the books to pay for the stadium separately and think about the new squad cost ratio, which is mainly about player salary, agent fees, coaches' salary, and some operating costs, divided by your revenues to get at 85%, they can get there. And they have sold quite well. They probably brought in about 200 million and probably spent about 3 something. So that's why they can buy Savinho now going for Mamouche. But back to today's game. The game will commence in about 10 minutes. I'm looking forward to the game. It should be a really good game. I expect Coventry. We will spend a little bit of money, not a ton, to put up a good fight. But, and the fact that, I argue with some of my friends, Carly, I hope Tony's still in the chat, because me and Apollo go back and forth on this, about Gyökeres. Why would you play Havertz, who's not a number 9, instead of Gyökeres? If you're that confident in Gyökeres, you paid over 50 million for him. Arteta doesn't think he has a skill set. And people lost their mind the other day when he was playing against City and he tried to backheel a pass to nobody but the defender. And people lost their mind because he's not a great player. Before I transition into the game, I want to say a couple of things. One is, I feel for Martinelli. It's really bad not to be wanted. When you give your all for, and that's why players should have no loyalty to any club, not to my club either. It's a cutthroat business. It's about you. If you're playing well, push to get more money. If you're not getting the game time, push to leave game time. Don't have no club into your heart and say, I'm out for the badge, and then fans get all excited, and then they cuss you when you leave. Martinelli gave his all. He came to us as an 18-year-old. We paid $6 million or so for him. He's now worth a ton of money. I'm going to get rid of him because we're saying he don't produce enough. Fine. That happens. It's cutthroat business. But don't get pissed off and upset when a player decides to go pursue greener pastures. There's no obligation. There is no loyalty in the sport. It's a business. So don't expect loyalty either. But looking forward to the game. It should be a good game. And want to see how Arsenal play this year. Who I'm looking forward to. I've said this before. And I think a couple of my colleagues who I said it to didn't even answer me because they think I'm crazy. I believe, this is truly my belief, and I think I can prognosticate things. I think I have this vision. That's the ego kicking in, which is, I think MLS is our best midfielder. I think Miles Lewis-Kelly is our best midfielder. When I think about all the attributes of a midfielder and what you should bring to the table, whether it's goal scoring, whether it's spatial awareness, whether it's coverage, whether it's ability to see a pass, whether it's ability to change a play, whether it's ability to cover, all the attributes of midfielder, I think Miles Lewis-Kelly is our best midfielder. Now, some people will lose their mind and think about Declan Rice and he's world class. Or think about Guimaraes, who we just brought in. I'm not even doing it based on age and time and all that. I just look at the players play and just think about the kid is special. Now, he won't get as much game time this year because Guimaraes is here and they paid $75 million for him plus whatever. And Rice has to play because he's a presence and he covers a lot of ground. But I'm going to give you an example. That pass that Miles Lewis-Kelly made to Calafiori the other day, under pressure, as them say at Jamaica, it's not normal. It's not normal, people. That's why I talk about midfielders. It's not normal. For you to play normally the 8, but he played the 6. I think he was playing the 6 in that game, and he plays the 8 quite a bit. But for you to make that kind of pass, it's going to be interesting. My assumption is I see Kanza walk in the stadium. My assumption is that Arteta is going to play Rice in the 6. Or have a double pivot, or even alternate way of playing, which is you go, I stay. So MLS, Rice, and Guimaraes to me are all interchangeable. And a little bit more fluid in terms of how they play. Depends on who is more forward. With Odegaard being the conductor. I don't think Eze is going to get a lot of playing time unless Odegaard gets injured. There are a lot of games to be played, but I don't think Eze will play a lot of big games because Odegaard was exceptional in the World Cup and even more exceptional in the game against City. So should be interesting where this goes, actually. But yeah, looking forward to the game. What's your prediction? What's your prediction for this game? What's your prediction for the score in the game? Let me know your prediction, people. Let me know your prediction for the score in the game. Started off soon. Let me know what your prediction will be. I'd expect most people to pick Arsenal to win, but what score are you expecting? And let's hope it's a good game for opening game of the season. Let's hope it's a good game. I expect Arsenal to play well. They look good. They look poor in preseason until the game. Give me 1 second, people. I have to take this call. 1 second. Sorry about that, people. I had to take that call. So Peter says 3-0 to the Arsenal. Skipper said 3-0 to the Arsenal. So I expect Ipswich to score a goal. You know, expect Sims to score, or when the new signee of forward line to score a goal. Like, not disrespect the Coventry people, them. Not good. I have this emergency. I'm trying to do it. So, teams are coming onto the field. So the Coventry team and also the Arsenal team. Just like Arsenal player to get injured, Guimaraes never get injured for Newcastle. Well, that's not true. He was injured a part of the season, last season. Things have changed in football, people. 75 million for a 28-year-old. Lord help us. Too much money in the Premier League. Too much money. Way too much money. Way too much money, people. Way too much money. I don't think you should pay 75 million for a 28-year-old. Because none of those players finish by the time they reach 30. Think about Sterling or Rooney or some of the players. People just talk about the Messis and the Ronaldos as examples. Those are aberrations, not good examples. So the hope would be that you get 4 or 5 years out of him, but we'll see. So Arsenal, there's no Nelson on the bench, no Jesus on the bench, no Martinelli on the bench. That's not good for those players. I think they're all going to be sold. Nelson will be given away. They won't sell him because Arsenal doesn't know what to sell. Man City seem to do a great job getting money for their players. Look how much money they got for look how much money they got for a player who scored 1 goal last season. Look how much money. Look how much money they got for Savina. I still can't believe it. I know Spurs are desperate, but think about it, people. 80 million pounds. That's like over $100 million. And probably 90-something million euros. For a player who scored 1 goal. For a player who has never scored double-digit goal in the Premier League. Wow. Crazy. That shows you Spurs are desperate. They want to finish 17 twice. And they have a good team. We'll see how they do this year. They're trying to get back to Champions League football. It's possible, given the upheaval at Villa. It's possible. Yeah, but Brazilians finish early. Nitro, remember that. I don't see that Jamaica. Brazilians done early. Think about Kaká, Rivaldo, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Neymar. They finish early. At 8:30, them done. Bless up, Nitro. Bless up. Ranger. Yeah. He went to Saudi though. Saudi's a little bit different because Saudi just have money to throw away. But when you go into the Premier League or go into another league and it's not a Saudi league, because Saudi has to pay over the top to get players to come there, right? And they got to pay them over the top in terms of wages. But Barcelona playing what, about 65, 70 for Rodri, who's in his 30s already? Or 75 for Gordon? That's crazy. And I think, didn't Gordon score one goal last year in the Premier League? Am I mistaken? He scored in the Champions League, and he played well in the Champions League, and went up against Barcelona. All right, game time. Let me start. Game is off. So we are observing, watching, partaking of Arsenal versus Coventry. Coventry in possession. And coming forward, looking dangerous already. And already got a corner. They have a dynamic Nigerian on the wing. I can't hear the commentators pronounce his name, so I don't want to pronounce his name and then mess it up. Don't want to do that. Corner to Coventry. Coventry early in the game. Then headed out by Arsenal. Fury heads out. Coventry in possession. Still. Here comes Rice. Plays it out to Lewis Kelly, to Fury, to Mascara. Arsenal now in possession and doing the Arsenal thing, just settling the game down. It's amazing. Lewis Kelly first started up at left back for us, even though he's a midfielder by trade when he was in the academy. Played well at left back, got roasted year before, not last year, but the year before that. Came back, got put in the midfield, started late in the season, and they can't get him out of the team. And it's taken Zuamendi's place. He's playing, it looked like he's playing a double pivot with Rice. Here comes Solis. I like Solis' decision making. That's the thing I like a lot about Solis. Love his decision making. Arsenal in possession. Mascara out to White, to Saka. Hope Saka is injury free this season and play up to his ability. So Rice is playing the 6. I think that's what Arteta is going to be doing. He probably liked the breadth of coverage of Rice and speed of recovery to play that 6. You need to protect your defense. So then he can take more risk with his 8 and with his 10. Here comes Arsenal coming forward. It's Fury. Goes inside to Lewis Kelly, who turns it over. Lewis Kelly left the ball and left it to the Coventry player. Coventry coming forward. And if I don't say the Coventry player's name too much, because I don't really know their name. Coventry going long over the top. Califury in possession to Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly coming forward. Goes back to Odegaard. Odegaard is way deep. Arsenal have changed how they use Odegaard this year. He's playing much deeper. Sometimes you see him in the 6th position, sometimes in the 8th position. He's not stationary on the right beside Saka like he used to be. So that's a change in strategy by Arsenal. Lewis Kelly coming forward. Goes outside to Ben White. No, Havertz, they're rotating the team all over. Havertz outside, Saka inside. Very fluid in terms of attacking and where position people take up. No set position anymore. Almost like the Dutch team of the 1970s. Mascara trying to ball over the top. Misplaced pass. Here comes Coventry. Turkey's not a poor country. High inflation of Turkey, but they have money in Turkey. They do have money. Coventry trying to go along over the top. Califair 1-on-1. Coventry look decent so far. Coventry in possession coming forward. Coventry do a good job of keeping the ball. Saka in possession. Plays it to Odegaard. Odegaard looking. He had Solis wide open and didn't give him the ball. Gonna give it to him now. Solis coming forward. Going at his man. He's in the box. Comes inside looking to shoot. Oh, just over the top. Really good shot by Solis there. Just leaned too much into that shot. Came inside, had his man inside. Defenders have to realize you cannot let the player go inside. Cannot let the player go inside. No matter what he does, you have to keep him outside. When he comes inside, the whole goal is open for him to shoot at. I don't know why professional players allow that in football. No matter what he does, if he wants to dance over the ball and step over, just force him wide. Use the sideline as your guide and as the help as a defender for yourself. Arsenal, Saka, play over the top, trying to find Havertz. A bad pass there by Saka in the box. Trying to cross, he's blocked. And he's barged over, and here comes Coventry. But they turn it over. Here comes Gabriel. Goes wide to Califieri. Califieri should come inside to Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly now in the 6. He's playing a double pivot with Rice. Ball play to Saka. Saka coming forward, has his man 1-on-1. Goes inside to Rice. Rice to Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly goes back to Rice. Rice goes to Odegaard. Odegaard dancing, prancing, goes back to Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly comes back to Rice. Rice wide to Ben White. Ben White back to Rice. They're pushing Coventry deeper and deeper. Ball play outside. Good ball out to Solis, who crosses in the box to Saka, who shoots. Corner to Arsenal. Arsenal has been very, very fluid. Solis came all the way from the middle of the field. Got out wide. Good cross in the box. Real good control by Saka. Bounced up off him and he shot and got a corner out of it. Good player there by Rice and Solis and Saka. Good sequence. Corner to be taken by Saka. All eyes on Gabriel. He plays short, goes back to Saka. He plays it inside to Ben White. Ben White to Solis, and Solis should have done better with that. Really good set play by Arsenal, but didn't materialize in that goal, but really good set play. They could have done better with that, actually. Here comes Arsenal again. They're calling for a handball. Referee says no. Trying to go along with the top, throw into the Arsenal. So a really nice short corner. Lewis Kelly to Saka. Ben White was in the pocket. He could have gone out inside to Saka. Went to Solis, who took a good shot, but was blocked off the line. Here comes Odegaard. Tried a cute pass, but turned it over. Like it was an offside. And it's a free kick to Coventry. If you just join us, we are watching the game between Arsenal and Coventry score tied at 0. Arsenal in possession. Here comes Solis again. He has a lot of energy. He goes wide to Havertz. Havertz should go back to Solis. He does. Solis goes inside to Rice. Rice looking to shoot. He shoots way over the bar. Ambitious shot by Rice. By the way, people, if you just come in the chat, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you haven't shared the channel, please do so. Yeah, Declan trying an ambitious shot. That shot was never on. Nobody in possession. Ball play out by Coventry. Mascara defending against Sims. I don't think Sims has touched the ball as yet. The center forward for Coventry. Arsenal trying to play out. Ball headed out by White. Here comes Coventry. Onyeka goes all the way across field. Coventry trying to get some composure in the game. Play the ball all the way back to the keeper, then going long. I think they're going to be playing counter-attacking football, it appears. They're going to try to keep position a little bit, pull Arsenal in, and try to go long. Here comes Arsenal. Odegaard has it. Saka is wide. He has options. Saka has his men one-on-one. Down by the byline. Step over. Try to cross. Out of bounds. Corner to the Arsenal. Da Silva was the defender that time against Saka. That's one thing Arsenal doesn't do well. Our wingers don't beat people. Like, he had him one-on-one. There was little or no help. Yeah, it wasn't much of an attempt to beat him, actually. Corner to the Arsenal. Arsenal have 4 men at the back post, along with Gabriel on the penalty spot. But when Arsenal run in, they sometimes run in all 4 men. They need to run in 3 and leave 1 at the far post. Havertz is staying. Good corner by Saka, but right to the keeper, and he's trying to a quick breakout, and not happening. Now, there's some new rules this year. One of them, the keeper has to get rid of the ball, what, is it 5 or 7 seconds? I know for throwing in corners, it's about 5 seconds. Foul against Rice. Free kick to Coventry. 11 minutes in, or just over 11 minutes. And score is tied at 0. Arsenal hasn't really created any chances as yet. You know, they have had good possession and have been in the 18 a few times. Coventry's going to be going long quite a bit in this game. Coventry in possession. Coming forward. No one stopping the ball. Looking to shoot. Block by Lewis Kelly. Ball play out wide to the Silva. Again, Saka goes back. Coventry having some possession. Arsenal sometimes drop too deep. I mean, Man City never did this when they were in their heyday. When you get the ball, that's when they come alive. They pressure you. And when they have it, they rest. We're resting on defense. They rest on offense. So Arsenal is not really pressing. They've stayed deep. Now we see Odegaard trying to pressure the defender. Throw into Coventry. We are 13 minutes in. Score still tied at 0. The longer this game goes, the more Coventry will feel like they have a chance to. Coventry has gotten there's a foul against Coventry. I thought they were going to get in. The more they're going to feel like they're in the game, and the more they feel comfortable, and the more they feel like they have an opportunity to get an outcome, a positive outcome. Arsenal need to score soon. Lewis Kelly to Rice, back to Lewis Kelly, back to Rice. Coventry playing smart, not overly pressing, to leave themselves vulnerable in the back. They sort of come out as a team, and they really organize as a team. Arsenal trying to go across field to Solis. Not the best crossfield pass. Arsenal in possession is ball crossing the box to Havertz. Goal to the Arsenal. Goal to the Arsenal. Well, put too much goal up there. It's supposed to be one. When I put 3 up there, got excited. Goal to the Arsenal. Ball out on the wing. Ambitious cross, actually. Ambitious cross. The defender tried to boot it upfield, got blocked, went to Calafiori, who made a good pass inside to Havertz, who took his chance really, really well. So ball played across field by White, trying to find Solis. The defender tried to boot it upfield. The ball bounced off, went to Calafiori, plays it one time into Havertz, who made no mistake. Really good score by Havertz there. Really good goal. Well taken. Really good goal, actually. Excellent, excellent finish. You couldn't get a better finish. It was placed in the corner. Keeper had 0 chance to get there. Way out of reach. So 1-0 to the Arsenal. And sorry about that, people. I pressed the goal too many times. I got excited. Arsenal 1. And Coventry 0. Arsenal has been the better team. Well, Coventry has put up a fight, actually. But I think they're overmatched. It's very obvious. Here comes Lewis Kelly, be the man. Foul, free kick to the Arsenal. So Coventry is trying to go too long to me. They should clear the ball in the back a little bit, pull Arsenal in, and try to play over the top. They're trying to go over the top too early and being very unsuccessful. And that cross to Solis was a very ambitious cross. It wasn't the best cross field play, but it worked out well for Arsenal. Ben White over the top trying to find Saka. Saka is in. He's shield on the touchline. And it goes all the way back to Ben White, who goes inside to Lewis Kelly, plays it back to Rice, plays it to Solis, looking to shoot. Goes back to Rice. Rice over the top finds Havertz. Havertz crosses, but blocked by Coventry. Here comes Calafiori. Should be offside, actually. Out of bounds. Try to play to Havertz, but Havertz was in a offside position. Well, I think most games this season will be warm-up for Arsenal. It's not warm-up, it's the game. It's the first game of the season. If you just join us, we're in the first game of the EPL season. The defending champions Arsenal against the EFL champions Coventry. Arsenal leading by 1-0. Goal scored by Havertz off an assist by Calafiori. Lewis Kelly to Rice. And if you just join us, Guimaraes is not in the team today. It looked like he picked up a knock in the Community Shield, or maybe in training. And so he's out of the squad today. And there's no Martinelli in the squad either. Look like he'll be sold this season. Arsenal in possession. Califieri goes inside to Rice. Rice will go back to Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly comes across field to Mascara. Mascara goes to White. White to Lewis Kelly, who turns brilliantly. Plays it inside to Odegaard. Odegaard has options. Try to play it inside to Havertz. Bad decision by Odegaard. That pass was never there. Havertz doesn't have the speed. He should have gone outside to Saka, who then would have options. Good build-up, though. Lewis Kelly does a brilliant job of dropping his shoulder, people. If you are a midfielder, young, want to see out the midfield, watch Lewis Kelly. Here comes Coventry. Good block by Gabriel, and he's down. He may be injured. Yeah, looked like he got stepped on. Yes, very much so. Yeah, he got stepped on. He'd be okay. That was unintentional. Gabriel is limping around, but that was not intentional. So where you guys went in mute. What does that mean, RR? Elaborate. If you just join us, we're in the 20th minute of play. Arsenal is leading Coventry by 1-0. Arsenal coming forward is Mascara. Goes back to Raya, the best goalkeeper in football. Or I should say the most complete goalkeeper. Best may be a debate between him, Courtois, a couple more. Yeah, Arsenal playing a double pivot with Lewis Kelly and Declan Rice. A little bit different from last year, actually. Here comes Kelly to Rice. You can't really tell who playing the six, whether it's Rice or Kelly. Gabriel plays outside to Solis. Solis comes inside, looking up, looking for a pass, doesn't have one, goes back to Rice. Rice comes all across field to Saka. Saka going down the line, has a chance to put it in the box, trying to turn his man, twist, plays it inside, looking for the 1-2, ball into Odegaard. Odegaard to Lewis Kelly to Califieri. Califieri trying to play it outside to Havertz. Ball out of Havertz fouls, and it's a free kick to Coventry. And Arteta losing his mind on that sequence of play. I think Odegaard had a chance in the box to dip a shoulder and shoot, but he decided to pass. Oh, good point, RR. I'm on mute because I've been really busy with some personal stuff. I have some difficult situation happening, so I take some personal time off to do some stuff. So I'll do more stuff, YouTube stuff, but not as much as I did before because I'm dealing with some challenges. But when those get settled down, I'll be on more often. But I understand what you're saying, and you're right about that. As if there's nothing else in life apart from JFA football. I agree with that. Arsenal coming forward. Ball play to Rice. Rice is in. He has a chance to go wide to Solis. He plays him in late. Solis crosses. Arsenal in Saka. Goal to the Arsenal. Goal to the Arsenal. Really good build-up. That's 2-0 to the Arsenal. That was poor by Coventry, though. That was too easy. That ball in the middle of the park. Where is Coventry's number 6? They were wide open. Where is Grimes or Urenki for Coventry? Nowhere to be found. So Saka is on the score sheet. That was the easiest tapping he'll ever get. So ball headed out, came to Rice. He comes forward. Coventry's all over the place. He plays it inside to Odegaard, who then plays it back to Rice, who then was wide open. He went wide to Solis, and Solis with another assist. And the keeper pushed it in the pad. Poor goalkeeping, actually. If the keeper had left that ball, it would have gone to his defender, who then would have played it out. So the keeper pushed it right in Saka's path for a goal. It was assist by the keeper, actually. But that's the difference between a Solis and a Martinelli, and that's why Martinelli is challenged because the decision making of Solis has been excellent since I've watched him play. Excellent decision making. I'm not sure he's going to get the assist on this one. Or the keeper pushed the ball in his path, in Saka's path, but he's almost had an assist or a goal in every game he's played in preseason. He had 2 against the Community Shield, 2 assists, so good start for him. 24th minute in, Solis just took a knock. Arsenal leading by 2-0. Arsenal in possession again. It's going to be a long night for Coventry. Declan Rice out to Ben White. Should go back to Rice. And the question for Arsenal is, when Guimaraes is fit and Lewis Kelly turned the ball over again and won it back, that's a bad turnover. That's the thing about Lewis Kelly. He's going to make mistakes in the middle of the park, which may cost us against better teams. He has to be careful that he's not always rolling his man with the ball. You got to figure out where he is in terms of rolling them. He can turn the ball over in difficult situations against better teams and quicker players. It'd be a problem for him. Rice to Mascara. So do you take Lewis Kelly out and put Guimaraes in? It's going to be interesting. Lewis Kelly goes wide to Rice. And Solis is way open on the other side. Here comes Ben White. And he's been pushed down. Should be a foul, but referee says play on. Saka and Rice are not, and White are not happy. Yes, I agree, RR. Definitely. But he got time though, right? Took him 7 years to win the title after coming second 3 times. So, and coming 8 once and 8 twice, I think it is. So he's been given time. It shows you that if you have confidence in someone and their ability, and you know what the project entails, you give them time, they can get results, which Arteta has done. We're in the 25th minute of play. Arsenal leading Coventry by 2-0. Free kick to Coventry over the top. Ball headed out by Mascara. Solis in possession, turns, goes to Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly turns, looking for a pass, doesn't have one. He's so calm. And plays out to Rice. Rice plays it to Havertz. Havertz has options. He can go inside. He does to Odegaard. Odegaard plays it. Try to go to Saka. Pass was not there. Lewis Kelly in possession. Got bounced off the ball. Wins it back. Tripped up. Should be a yellow card by the referee. Yep, will be a yellow card. That was an unnecessary foul. Really unnecessary foul. I'm not sure why you want to pick a yellow card up there by Jorensky. And you play in the middle of the park where you've been challenged all game. You don't want to get a yellow card against such a good team. Unnecessary yellow card, by the way. He didn't take one for the team. He just turned it over and took a yellow card and put his team in a very difficult position. Free kick to Arsenal. So Caleb Yarenki at the yellow card. Havertz plays out to Solis. Solis plays to Havertz. Wasn't a bad decision, Havertz wasn't expecting the pass. Havertz fell asleep. If he anticipated the pass, he would have gotten that ball. It was a good pass into him. He's not the quickest. He did foul. He did push the player in the back. Free kick to Coventry. We're in the 28th minute of play. Arsenal leading by 2-0. This is a good game for Arteta to use his bench. He got about 5 substitutes on the bench. He needs to use his bench. Arsenal trying to play it up to Havertz. No such luck. Here comes Coventry. Coventry had a chance to cross in the box, decided not to. And now Solis coming back to help Calafiori. Solis did a good job of recovering defensively. Solis has it, plays it inside to Havertz. Havertz to Odegaard. Odegaard has options. Surveying the field, turns it over. Bad decision by Odegaard. He had options and could have done better with that pass. Mascara and Sims. Odegaard turns it over again. Here comes good play by Ben White there. And good run by Mascara to Saka. Saka beats his man. Fouled. Free kick to the Arsenal. Arsenal taking a quick free kick. Gabriel coming forward. Plays it wide to Solis. Solis sprinting down the sideline. Trying to get as close to the box as quickly as possible. He's at the end of the area. Plays it back to Calafiori. To Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly plays it into Odegaard. Odegaard turns it over. Again, that's his third turnover in a row. Trying with a cute pass into Havertz, didn't work. So Arsenal have 12 touches in the box, and Coventry has 0. Coventry has a couple of chances to put the ball in the box. They decided not to. Their winger's taking too long to get the ball in the box. Gotta get the ball as close to the goal as possible of the opposition. Ball booted out. Ended up by Ben White. Lewis Kelly plays it to Raya. Raya looking to go long, go across field. And a brilliant pass to find Calafiori. Calafiori's option goes inside to Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly surveying the field, going to go outside. Decide to come back across field to Mascara. Mascara has Ben White wide, has Lewis Kelly in the middle. Lewis Kelly to Rice in the pocket, plays it outside to Solis. Solis likes to run. He has 2 men on him, plays it inside back to Rice. Rice has Lewis Kelly inside, he goes over the top. Poor pass by Rice, headed out to Ben White. Ben White inside to Odegaard. Odegaard looking for options, has Solis wide. Decided not to, goes back inside to Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly plays it wide to Ben White. Ben White back to Havertz. Havertz to White. White has Odegaard inside, decided to go to him. Odegaard turns. Plays it back to Havertz. Havertz to Rice. Rice goes outside to Saka. Saka looking for options, go back inside to Rice. Rice to Odegaard in the pocket. Odegaard plays it back to Saka. Arsenal trying to find the gaps there. Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly goes back to Odegaard. Odegaard to White. White back to Odegaard. Odegaard decided to change direction and go across field to Gabriel. Plays out of Calafiori. Calafiori going to come all the way back to Mascara. Mascara just over in his own half. Plays it back to Gabriel, who now has options. Well, back to Mascara. And Coventry trying to come out, but they're so much bogged in. By the time they get out, Arsenal have a lot of room and time. Rice to Saka. Saka to back to Rice. Rice plays the Mascara, who's back to Rice. Arsenal have had possession for quite a while now. Lewis Kelly back to Mascara. Not penetrating, just keeping possession, keeping the game taking over. 32 minutes in, Arsenal leading by 2-0. And tiring out the defense for Coventry. Ball play across field to Mascara. Mascara plays it inside to Solis. Solis back to Gabriel. Gabriel back to... If you're playing like Arsenal is now, you don't get tired when you have the ball. Right? And Coventry can get close to Arsenal. But Calafiori to Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly going to go across field to find Saka. Good pass for Lewis Kelly. Saka has it and his man one-on-one. Looking to go at Silva. Saka plays it inside to Odegaard. Odegaard back to Ben White, who was on his left foot, tried to shoot, got blocked. He doesn't have a left foot. Maybe that's why he struggled there. Ben White with the ball out wide, looking to crossed far post, out of bounds. No, stayed in bounds, collected by the keeper. If that ball in the box had gone to Saka or a little bit more skilled player, we would have had it. Here comes Coventry. They have numbers. Ball play out wide to Sims. Sims against Gabriel one-on-one. Trying to beat Gabriel, but turns back. Try to turn Gabriel. Almost did. And tripped up. Foul against Gabriel. Good play by Sims. Bless us, come let to... What's that? Come let to go? To us go? Look at the Comlet same he predicts 4 goals. So, and Gabriel has a yellow card, by the way. I don't think it was much of a yellow card, but that's not good. Free kick to Coventry. Cross to the box. Dangerous. Headed out by Arsenal. Odegaard to Havertz. Havertz doesn't have the speed to recover. And Coventry coming forward again. Ball headed out by Arsenal. To Solis. Solis plays it back to Gabriel. Gabriel to Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly find Havertz. Havertz to Solis. Solis is taken out. Should be a foul. Free kick to the Arsenal. And Solis is down rolling around. "35 minutes in. Sims beat Gabriel too easy a while ago to me. Gabriel got to force him baseline. There's no reason like that. You shouldn't be beating him like that easily. So foul against Solis. Free kick to the Arsenal, be taken by Odegaard. Seems like Odegaard taking his kicks versus Rice. I'm not sure that makes any sense to me, but Odegaard like to get involved in any and everything. Here comes Rice, plays it out to White. White goes wide to Saka. Saka coming forward. Trying to beat his man down the wing. Does so and get tripped up. He's on his feet. He had a chance to go back to Califury and he tries to go to cross it. If he just come back to Califury was wide open in the box. Good move by Saka to beat his man, to beat Sims, who's a forward and not a good defender. Yeah, when he got up, he's looking to cross, but the cross wasn't there. Out of bounds. Should be corner to the Arsenal. To be taken by Saka. I think you only have 5 seconds, right? So I don't know when the seconds start. So whenever the referee starts his watch. Corner be taken by Saka. Just join us. We're in the 36 minutes of play. Arsenal leading Coventry. New biz in the Premier League by 2 goals. And the corner taken, headed out. Ball picked up by Lewis Kelly to Saka. Back to Odegaard. Trying to go far post. Headed out by Coventry. Ball picked up by Solis. Trying to roast his man one-on-one. Trying to go baseline. Solis come back inside. Turns. Cross. Oh, just over Havertz's head. Just over his head. Arsenal in position again. Back one to Solis. Solis in the box. Cuts back. Looking across. And placing it in the box to Scaliferi. Both he and Odegaard jockeying for the same ball. Arsenal claiming handball. Back to Solis. Solis against my one-on-one. Trying to go on the wing. Cross again. Play out by Coventry. Foul against Rice. Free kick to Coventry. Arsenal claiming handball, but nothing from VAR, and referee says play on. Solis does a good job of getting the ball in the box. That ball was just over Havertz's head. Let's see what happened. No, that wasn't a handball. He turned his back and his hand was tucked in, so it can't be a handball. Ball played out. Arsenal. Coventry going long and just turn the ball over. If you're going to go long, give yourself a chance to win the ball. Havertz proving me wrong? He's not proving me wrong. He's not the forward we need. Why do you think we're looking for Alvarez or Osimhen? We know we need a better number 9 than Havertz. He's a good footballer. Obviously, he's a good footballer. He's just not a number 9. He's not a 9. And we can't sell him because he makes about £280,000 a week. So you can't sell him to anybody. Nobody can afford him apart from maybe Man City, Liverpool, and nowadays Tottenham. Chelsea not paying any player that amount of money. Arsenal coming forward is Gabriel. Calafiori was wide open and he changed his mind to Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly's playing more of the 6 than Rice, actually. It's really interesting how Arsenal set up nowadays. It's Saka. Goes back to Mascara, to Lewis Kelly. Coming forward. Plays it to Rice. Rice goes inside to Odegaard. Odegaard to Havertz. See Havertz, look how deep Havertz is. Havertz, go play your position. Nobody's then in the middle of the park. So if we get a ball up the field quickly, no one is in the position. Now he's back up in his position. Gabriel trying a final pass that was never there. Really poor decision by Gabriel. Here comes Coventry. And they have numbers. Why don't they get the ball in the box? See, they're out wide again. No ball has been played in the box. They go out wide and they go all the way back into their defense. They had numbers in the box. Coventry now all the way back in their own half. And trying to go along with an ambitious ball that's out of bounds and throwing the Arsenal. Poor decision by Coventry. Their wingers are just horrible in terms of putting the ball in the box. And that's Asante and Troona. I think I'm messing his name up, but they get a chance to put the ball in the box and they refuse to do so. Throw into Arsenal. And it goes straight to... I think that quick throwing is giving us problems also. We're not doing a good job on the quick throw-ins. Here comes Coventry. They have number and space. So does way up the field, so Havertz is covering for him. So now they're just outside the 18 for Arsenal, and yet not one ball has gone in the box yet. They haven't touched the ball in the box, and they still refuse to do so. They're trying to play nice football, but the nice football only works until it gets in the middle of Arsenal half, and then they turn it over. Here comes Coventry. Keep possession in their own half, but not as progressive as they need to be. Coventry coming forward again. Moving Arsenal around. Good playing. Coventry is around the box looking to shoot. Arsenal doing a good job of trying to block at the edge of the box. Coventry moving it around, cross, and final cross on the box, headed up by Arsenal. Ball overhead, just over the goal. An ambitious Raya was off his line there and was scrambling backwards, but the ball was over the bar. That was a poor header by Solis, by the way, to play the ball out. When you're heading the ball out, people got to head the ball up in the air so he doesn't come down, someone can shoot quickly. That was poor head by Solis. He had the ball down, didn't give the forward a chance to play it in on goal. This is Havertz. Arsenal also going long. Arsenal not playing out from the back. So we have this continuous turnover by both teams trying to go long, and it hasn't really worked. So we have Gabriel to Mascara, out to Ben White. Arsenal need to settle the game down again and start over. And they're doing so. White to Mascara, to Lewis Kelly, back to Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly goes wide to Gabriel. So then we have Calafiori going inside, so Solis can have room on the outside. He's coming forward. He has Lewis Kelly inside. He should go to him. He does. Lewis Kelly has Declan Rice across field. Rice looking to go to Odegaard. Plays it inside to Ben White. Ben White goes wide to Saka. Saka should go far post. He delays. It's going to do something now. Change his mind again. Goes back to Rice. Rice cross far post. Headed up by Coventry. And Sims trying to go wide. Gabriel hesitate, which is really bad on Gabriel's part. He had a chance to win that ball. Decided not to go in, and that wasn't a smart move by Gabriel. He should have won that ball easily. Coventry trying to go over the top. Not a smart play. Poor decision. We're in the 43rd minute of play. This is the first game of the 2026-2027 Premier League season. The champions Arsenal against the EFL champions Coventry. Arsenal leading by 2-0. Goals scored by Havertz and by Saka. Comes Arsenal against Rice. Goes wide to Solis. Solis coming forward. Solis has been impressive so far. Comes inside looking to shoot. Winding up to shoot again. And then plays it out and got fouled on the edge of the box. Rolling over. Referee not playing the foul. Ball played onto Odegaard. Crosses. Out of bounds. Corner to Arsenal. Referee should have given the foul on that because that's a free kick in a dangerous position. So he's looking to shoot. Came across. Played it. Got fouled. Crunching tackle. And that player already has a yellow card. Maybe that's why the referee didn't call it. Because he already have a yellow card. And if he gave a foul, he may have to give that second yellow card, actually. That may have been the reason why he didn't give that yellow card. But that was to, what's his name? Urenki? You're living in danger, playing a dangerous game. Corner to the Arsenal. Lewis Kelly goes short. Ball plays to Odegaard. Odegaard back to Saka. Saka back to Odegaard. Odegaard a chance to shoot. He shoots. Blocked, out of bounds. Corner to the Arsenal again. Odegaard is not the best goal scorer, actually. Yeah, I'm not sure what he was shooting at. That was just a hopeful shot. We have 2 minutes of stoppage time. We are in the 45th minute of play. Arsenal leading by 2-0. Corner to be taken by Saka. Goes short again to Odegaard. Odegaard go back to Saka. Saka goes back to Rice. Rice looking to shoot to his left foot. Just inside the post. Not a bad shot. Needs some more direction. That's where Eze comes in very handy, actually, on top of the key, because he's a really good shooter from just outside the 18. We are almost at the 2-minute mark of extra time. Arsenal leading by 2-0. Coventry in possession, coming forward. Going long. I think they're going to play for the end of the half. Trying to find Havertz. That's Odegaard. Offside against Havertz. It's been a mixed game, actually. Arsenal have some spell, which they're dominant, and other times they're not. So it's halftime of the first game of the Premier League season between Arsenal and Coventry. Arsenal leading by 2-0. We're going to go through some halftime stats, but first, you guys know what I do. I do my little break. So I'm going to do my break. Then I'll come back. And then we do the halftime stats. It'd be interesting to see those stats. Arsenal has been the better team by a good distance. All right, people, I'm back. It's halftime of the game between Arsenal and Coventry. Arsenal leading by 2-0. I think what we'll do is we will take this down. We will try to go to halftime stats. So let me fetch these stats. All right, they're fetching. So these are the stats. As you can see, Arsenal dominating the game. Arsenal having 69% possession to 31 for Coventry. Their XG is 1.22 versus Coventry with basically 0. Their total shots, Arsenal 8, Coventry 1. Now, these stats may differ a little bit from an sofa score because it's different source I'm getting my stats from. We have corners 3-1. Arsenal has 257 pass to Coventry 114. And then we have 6-7 fouls. So those are the stats. Different organization get different stats to how they check the numbers. So I got mine from an API source. And sofa score stats may be a little bit different. But in general, these are the stats for the game. It's interesting. We're not surprised about the possession, not surprised about XG, not surprised about total stats. So Arsenal has dominated the game so far. And it's not surprising, even though I do think that Coventry can play better. They haven't played as well as they can play. They need to play better. They can definitely play better. Nitro said, I told JD we were in this 9-0. We need change at halftime. It'd be interesting what Arteta does. He's not that person who loves to make changes, He's done more of it nowadays. And now he has a team to do so. But we need to create more chances, actually. I know the XG is 1.22, but Coventry is not a very good team as compared to a team like Arsenal. We need to create more opportunities. We still need that number 9 in my view. What's Havertz's position? He doesn't really have one on the football field. He's not at 9. He's not at 10. He's not at 8. He's not at 6. He can probably play the 8 really well. He can play the 9 really. Let me rephrase that. He can play the 8 well, the 9 well, the 10 well. But he's not an exceptional 9, 10, or 8. And the problem you have is at this level, you have to be exceptional. At this level, you have to be exceptional. You can't be ordinary. You can't at this level be, ordinary. That doesn't work. Or just decent or good. I shouldn't say ordinary. You can't just be good. Because the reason why Arsenal are pursuing Vinicius Jr., because they want a superstar who's a difference maker, who when you're playing against brilliant teams, that one person can make the difference. Havertz doesn't do that. Just doesn't do that. So Arsenal got to figure that out, which is in this window. And Solis looked good, by the way. Solis looks as good as or better than Saka, to be honest. So he's putting pressure on his man out wide, and he already has an assist in the game. And Odegaard, though, hasn't been the same Odegaard we have seen at the World Cup or during preseason or in the preseason. He's been good. He's been decent, but he hasn't been exceptional. He was exceptional against City. He's not been exceptional. I'd be curious to see if Eze get a run the team, or if Zubimendi comes on, or Dauman gets a run the team. Now, I'll say this. I'm a little bit surprised. Now, they're trying to sell Martinelli. I think Dauman is, if you think about it, why would I keep Madueke versus Martinelli? Because I would prefer to play Martinelli on the right than play Madueke in the right. Madueke has been. I don't want to be denigrating the player, but Madueke has showed me nothing so far. What are you guys' thoughts on Madueke? I'm curious. Am I being harsh? He has shown me nothing so far to say he's an Arsenal player. So what's your thoughts on Madueke? I just think he's been below ordinary, to be honest. The last game we played against City, everybody was a 7 or above, except Madueke was like a 4. And he had chance on the wing, and he just runs out of bounds. I call him out of bounds. I call him OOB, out of bounds, because he's always running out of bounds. So the question for Arsenal is, do I stick with Madueke as Saka's backup? Or do I, because we spent about 50 million on him, which is, everybody was shocked about that. So it does show you coaches and Berta and others make mistakes, because Madueke was a mistake. I know he's an England international, he was a mistake. You could get somebody else for 50 million from outside of even England or even the UK. A Minter, for example, at Brighton, to me, is a better player than Madueke. Now, I know Madueke is English, and I know that counts towards having the 8 local players, but Madueke, to me, is not the answer for Saka's backup. And nowadays, in the last 2 years, Saka's been getting injured quite a bit. So you need that cover. Who's not world class? Oh, Havertz? No, he's not world class. He's not close to world class, no. Skipper Tone said, Madueke is not the person. I'm going to use that one. I will use what you said, Skipper, but he's saying he's not that person. No, he's not. And why they want to sell Madueke? Well, maybe they want to sell Martinelli because they can get more money for him than they can get from Madueke. But Martinelli is a good footballer. He just makes bad decisions a lot of times. He's a good footballer. And he works his butt off. And he was good for Brazil in the World Cup. So I don't know if you decide to keep Madueke over Martinelli. I would play Martinelli on the right. If you say you need another left-sided player, I would not play Madueke. Madueke has been a waste. Sorry. I would agree with that. Nwaneri is a better player than Madueke, even not right. Nwaneri is a 10, or at best an 8. But he's a better on the right than Madueke is. Like, far better. Talking about Noni, yes. Noni's not the man. If you haven't hit the like button, people, please do so. I got to revisit the feed I get for my stats because I'm looking at NBC stats, and their stats a little bit different from mine. So they're all in the same direction, but it's a little bit different. Let me do this. Maybe I change my source for this. No, this is not it. Remove. So these are the stats that SofaScore has. Let me see if they're different from mine. Yeah, they differ a little bit. So these are the stats. It's directionally, it's the right direction. As you can see, 67% for Arsenal, 10 total shots, 5 corners, 301 pass, twice as many passes as Coventry. So very similar in terms of what I had. Directionally, you got to find out why my numbers aren't closer to these numbers. If I show you my numbers again, my numbers, my source is a little bit different, right? XG is not far off, but possession not far off, but the number of passes is quite a bit different actually in terms of both teams. So I need to figure that out. Maybe I change my source. But we're getting ready for the second half. Arsenal leading Coventry by 2-0. I was planning to do a Premier League preview show. Maybe I'll still do it tonight, actually, because I have some things I'd like to talk about. Like picking who's going to win this year, who's going to be relegated, who has the best midfield, a number of topics that I thought would be good to discuss. I just haven't had the time to do a lot of what I'd like to do. But if I get some time this evening, I'll come back and we just have a conversation. But it's been a good controlled game for Arsenal. They haven't been exceptional. They have been good. Everyone is picking Arsenal to win this year. Well, most people, I shouldn't say everyone, most people picking Arsenal to win. By the way, for those of you in the chat, who are you picking to win the Premier League this year? And also, who you picking to win La Liga? Is it Barcelona or Real Madrid? Because there's only two teams. They're both restacked, even though Barcelona has been strange buying Gordon to play center forward, replacing Lewandowski. I think they really want Alvarez to do so, but they got Rodri, who's a brilliant footballer, as he showed in the World Cup. And he showed in the year he won the Ballon d'Or. And tomorrow morning, the games come fast and early. I think the first game is what, Man U versus Hull? That should be a good game. For Man U, not for Hull. I think the three teams that came up are probably going back down. I can't see any of these three teams, Coventry, Hull, or Ipswich, staying up. I just can't see it. Because you expected Coventry to be better. And the way they look today, they haven't provided any threat really for Arsenal so far. By the way, Ellis Sims, who's playing forward for Coventry, he does have Jamaican parentage. And he is Jamaican background. So you can tell me if you like how he looks. So Nitro says Arsenal winning the Premier League and Barcelona winning La Liga. That's interesting. You don't think Real Madrid can beat them this year? Real Madrid they brought in Bernardo Silva. They brought in Diamande for 100 million plus. They already have Vinicius Jr. They have speed to kill on the wings with Mbappe in the middle. Their middle is just not what it needs to be. Nitro Sims is ordinary. I hear you, Nitro. I think he did well the year before last. I don't think he did as well last year. The year before last, I think he scored a bunch of goals. We were looking at him, but the JFF doesn't really recruit anyway, so it doesn't make a difference. JFF doesn't recruit. They don't really want people born outside Jamaica in the team. They just want locally born players. If the players come, they won't tell them no if they're good enough, but that's not their goal. Nitro said Inter Milan for Serie A. Who are you picking? Oh, yeah. So you have Arsenal. Okay. And it's PSG. So the team is the game is almost back on. Getting ready to start. And it started. Second half has started. Arsenal in possession. Luis Kelly coming forward. Plays it out to Calafiori. Calafiori back to Solis. Back to Gabriel across field. To Rice. No changes by the Arsenal. Doesn't look like we have any changes by Coventry either. I can't see anyone being changed so far. So both Arteta and Lampard sticking with the same teams. Ben White in possession. Plays it inside to Luis Kelly. Luis Kelly back to Mosquera. Mosquera outside to Ben White. Ben White back to Mosquera. Goes all the way back to Raya. I don't think we do a good job of playing through teams and playing through the lines like City used to do. We need to do a better job doing that. Rodri would play the ball around the corner to De Bruyne or to Bernardo Silva, and then the defense would be on in no man's land. We don't do that really well. Sims going to Poland, really? Wow. Magic Cash did that, didn't he? Rice over the top trying to find Saka. Saka is, as man one-on-one, he's in. Oh, it's offside against Saka. You shouldn't be offside in that situation, Saka. You have too much room to know where you are. I think Arsenal should try to get Jonathan Rowe, actually. I think Jonathan Rowe would be a good... Jonathan Rowe has his passport. But he got it on his own. He didn't get it through the JFF. Here comes ball turnover. Saka coming forward, trying to play it upfield, trying to find Havertz is being held. Referee says no foul. You got to be kidding me. He's being pulled and pulled and pulled. And linesman standing right there says nothing. Here comes Coventry again. That was a clear foul, by the way. Coventry in possession. I wonder what was said at halftime. Ball played in, too long, picked up by Raya. Raya to Rice. Rice coming forward. Goes over the top to find Califieri, who has Havertz outside and Solis outside. Sorry, Havertz inside. Goes to Solis. Solis plays it inside to Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly looking to go over the top, change his mind, go to Rice. Rice inside to Odegaard. He has room, space. Plays offside to Saka. Saka to Ben White. They're trying to cross it back. Miss kick, goal to the Arsenal. Is that Odegaard score that? It looked like he kicked and missed with the right foot, and that the ball got hooked up and triggered in the goal. I'm not sure what the keeper was doing. Like he's in no man's land. I think Odegaard tried to, I'm not sure if he's trying to pass it or chip it. And the ball just trickled in the goal. Wow. That's lucky for you. So ball played to Rice. Rice played it inside to Odegaard. Really good cute pass. Odegaard went inside to Saka. Saka held it long. White went outside of him. Plays it into White. White crossed it back to Odegaard, who shot and missed. Who shot and the ball got stuck under his foot. Poor shot. But the keeper was going, I don't know where the damn keeper was. Sorry, excuse my language. I don't know where the keeper was going. He's going to his right and couldn't come back. I think the ball got deflected. That was an awful shot by Odegaard because he has no right foot. Nitro said, "Gonna 6 more to go." Madrid win the Liga. Okay, I hear the skipper tone. Nitro said, "Watch PSV on Sunday." Who should I watch for PSV, Nitro? Who you want me to see? It's a really interesting goal. And there is something there. There's a discussion happening. Not sure what's happening. But it's 3-0, it looks like. I think Arsenal should change at the 60th minute. We're 50 minutes in. Arsenal 3, Coventry 0. I could put in Zuamende. I could put in Eze. But even put in Madueke because he needs to play. To improve. Oh, player dragged down. Free kick to the Arsenal. Foul against Havertz. That goalkeeper is having a nightmare. He looks very raw. And he's a little bit scared, to be honest. Odegaard with a free kick. Coventry just look weird and strange and ball play out to Solis cross, headed out to go to Saka. Saka to White. White inside to Odegaard. Odegaard back to Saka. Saka cross far post. Poor cross by Saka. Headed out by Coventry, trying to come forward. Ball out of bounds. Throw into Coventry. Who is that? Who is that? Is that Johnson? Because if they start playing too well, the Dutch start going after them, and Jamaica may lose him. Ball play to Havertz, turnover by Saka with a shot, far post, saved by the keeper. Poor turnover by Coventry there. Havertz played into Saka, who shot one time, but not the most difficult shot to save. Saka was trying to guide into the far corner, but went too straight. I'd love to see Dalman and Eze in this game. So it's corner to Arsenal, taken by Rice. He's going to go long this time. For a post, headed out by Coventry. Ball played out of bounds. No, it's in bounds. Odegaard has it. Comes across field to, I think this is Solis. Solis goes back to Odegaard. Odegaard to White. White to Saka. Saka has Calafiori close to him. He's one that goes one-on-one. Plays it inside to Odegaard. Odegaard trying with a deft pass into White, but cut off by Coventry. If you just join us, we're in the 53rd minute of play. Arsenal leading Coventry by 3-0. Havertz trying to play it out. Turns it over. Sims holding the ball up really well. Plays it inside, turns it over. Now they got it back. Coventry trying to come forward, but they haven't really threatened the Arsenal goal. I don't think Raya's made a save yet. Coventry trying to play out from the back. Ball play across field. Coventry making progress up the field, just over in the Arsenal half. But then they go back. Coventry having a spell of some possession. First half, I think their possession was, 33%? That number may improve. They keep on possessing like they are now. They're not making much progress past the first 10 yards of the Arsenal line. And I have it deep in the Arsenal territory. Trying to go inside. Doing some nice little 1-2s. Coming forward again. Cross in the box. Headed up by Arsenal. Ben White plays it to Saka. Saka trying to find Odegaard. Trying with a cute pass. Didn't work. Ball over the top. Here comes Coventry again. Down the cross in the box. Just over the head of Sims. And Coventry putting on some pressure. That was pretty dangerous there. Saka plays out for a corner to Coventry. Good spell of pressure by Coventry. So who his name is? Gonzalez? I heard about Fernandez. I heard about some kid. You gotta give me his name, Nitro. Corner to Coventry. Their fans cheering them. They probably got... This is their second corner. They got a corner in the first minute of the game. So this is probably their second corner of the game. 55 minutes in. The game has been stopped for a moment. Not sure if it's a substitution or referee having some equipment problems. Yep, ref has equipment problems. So corner to Coventry. Should I like to get back on the score sheet? Good corner. Headed up by Arsenal. Arsenal putting under pressure. Saka plays it to Havertz. Havertz has numbers. He has a chance of playing. He can go across field to Odegaard. Odegaard coming forward. Try to play the Solis, and he plays it too far. Solis does get it, though. It's offside, it looks like. That shows you Arsenal lack of speed between Havertz and Odegaard. That's a good chance to break. They had 2 against 3. Havertz came across to Odegaard. Odegaard looking for the pass. And Solis just wandered half offside. Didn't have to move. Pass wasn't on target anyway. Oh, Fernandez. Okay. Yeah, I've heard the name. I forgot who mentioned him to me, actually. I have to go check my notes. But I did hear the name. Where does he play? The 6 or the 8? .57 minutes in. Arsenal leading by 3-0. Goals scored by Odegaard, Saka, and Havertz. Coventry trying to go along. Not sure how good boom by Raya. Ben White just got beaten. That was a breakdown by Coventry. They had a chance to go in on goal, didn't make the best of it. Ben White can't tackle anybody. Man just ran by Ben White like he wasn't even there. Had a fear against his man one-on-one, coming inside, looking to cross, change his mind. Try to go outside, poor pass. Shoot by Gabriel. Foul, free kick to, this was Onyeka against Lewis Kelly, sorry, not Gabriel. Free kick to Arsenal. That was poor defending by Ben White a while ago. That's Silva who ran by him. He just ran by him as if he's not there. He can't even turn. Ben White can't turn, you know. Ben White is good going forward, but I'm not sure he's defending what he used to be. Oh, he's at 8. Okay. Yeah, we need an 8. We need 8. We need 6. We need 10. We need midfielders. Period. Here comes. I think Clark would be good for Arsenal, by the way. But I'm sorry, Jamaica, by the way. Lewis Kelly. Rice. Lewis Kelly looking to go forward. Plays it back to Rice. 59 minutes in. Arsenal leading by 3 goals to 0. Rice to Lewis Kelly. Back to Rice. Back to Gabriel to Rice. Rice trying to go across field, trying to find Saka. Does. Saka controls. And plays it to Odegaard. Game has slowed down quite a bit. Havertz. Back to Odegaard. Back to Saka. Back to Lewis Kelly, sorry. Lewis Kelly comes across to Gabriel, who goes back in the same place. Back out to Ben White. Ben White crosses. Played out by Coventry. Good move by Gabriel. Plays it to Mascara. Mascara goes across field to Calafiori's on the right side of the field. Sorry, to Odegaard. To Lewis Kelly. To Rice. Arsenal just playing around just inside Coventry's area. And Coventry probably getting a little bit tired. Could have been chasing the game all game. Here comes Odegaard. Has a chance to go wide to Solis. He does. Solis looking to go down the wing. Plays it into Calafiori, cuts it back. And then plays it Odegaard. Was a chance to shoot. Shot taken by Solis and actually blocked first by Odegaard and ricocheted out for it looks like a corner. Solis has this one thing in mind, goal. Yeah. That ball probably hit the defender's hand, but his hand was down by his side, so I was headed towards goal. Solis just thinks goal with his assist. Oh, okay. So how we know he's going to play for Jamaica? Nitro. And why would he? Lewis Kelly in the box looking to shoot. Plays it to Saka. Not a good decision by Lewis Kelly. Here comes Coventry. They have numbers. Good run, but poor pass at the end. Arsenal wins it back. Was poor decision. They had a chance to break out. Bad decision by Lewis Kelly. He probably should have tried to create a shot for himself. Coventry making a change. Number 8 out, number 29 in. So Urinsky is out. He has yellow cards. And number 29, Torp, is in. Shouldn't I show that? Here comes Arsenal again. Odegaard trying to go over the top to find Saka. Plays up by Coventry. Arsenal have taken their foot off the gas a little bit. They're playing very slow. Lewis Kelly comes across field to Gabriel, to Solis. Solis looking to go forward, goes inside, plays it to Havertz, back to Lewis Kelly, trying to thread the needle. That didn't work. And here comes Sims. And runs it out of bounds. Throw into the Arsenal. Yeah, Sims is in no man's land by himself. Because Calafiori back to Gabriel. If you just join us, we're in the 63rd minute. Arsenal leading Coventry by 3-0. Coventry won the EFL last year and won easily. All right, the big boys now. It's a much tougher league. Arsenal have slowed the game down. They probably need some changes to freshen up the team. Here comes Odegaard, just walking through the Coventry team. We're probably getting tired, and plays it wide to Solis, who's been running all game. Here's Solis down the wing. And he plays it inside to Havertz, who probably should have crossed it, actually. Tried to go down to the touchline, play out of bounds. And it's a corner to Arsenal. Solis with a really neat, just subtle pass into Havertz, who probably should have crossed it back to the penalty spot where Calafiori was, but decided to go down the wing and played up by Thomas from Coventry for a corner to Arsenal. The corner to Arsenal will be taken, I would assume, by Rice. Or that's, yeah, it is Rice. Corner by Rice, headed out by Coventry. Shot by Solis, a really good shot, actually. Played out for another corner. Solis is impressive, very impressive. His numbers were off the chart in Belgium, but he's been impressive. That shot from outside the area. Rice crosses, blocked, out of bounds, throw into the Arsenal. Arsenal about 4 or 5 players warming up. Really good big shot by Solis there. And he shot from outside the area. Good save by the keeper. But straight to him. Keeper, you got to hold those ball or push them, though. Solis has been impressive. Probably been Arsenal's best player, to be honest. Here comes Arsenal again. Ben White out to Lewis Kelly back into, or to Saka, sorry. Lewis Kelly now to Saka. Poor turnover there by Rice. Here comes Coventry. They have a man in the middle. He makes a bad pass. Good block by Mascara. Here comes Coventry. Have the edge of the area. Trying to get into the box. Down the wing, trying to cross. Blocked by Ben White. Ben White wins it. Cross into the box. Play out by Calafiori. Thomas has it, looking to shoot. Shot out of bounds. Goal kick to Arsenal. Coventry saying it's got touch for a corner, but referee says no. Referee says no. Bless up, Red Skull. How you doing? No, Lati, they're getting fun. Think Lati could help them? Yeah, that ball touched Mascara. I'm not sure why it was in the corner. So we have two changes. Madueke's going to be on and Zubamendi on for Saka. So why are we taking off Odegaard for Eze? I don't understand. Rice is off, Saka off, the two players who played up to the semifinal of the World Cup. I guess they don't want to play him too much. I would have put Eze on for Odegaard, but I guess he's doing it based on fitness, I guess. So Saka is off. Arsenal has made two changes. And Madueke is in play already. So Zuamendi gets a run. Here comes Mr. Out of Bounds. Plays it out to White. Back into Lewis Kelly. We're in the 68th minute. I'm not sure why Arteta doesn't give Eze a run. Why are you playing Odegaard all these minutes? You got to be able to make all these kids happy. You got 20 minutes to go. Nobody wants a 5 and 10 minute run. Ball player to Solis. Solis goes back inside. Ball to Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly turns. Goes back to Gabriel. Gabriel going down the wing. Not a good move by Gabriel. That's a bad turnover by Gabriel. Not a good turnover. 2 more changes for Ellie Sims is off. And also Asante is off. Asante didn't do much. I don't think Lati gonna get in the game today. Coventry trying to go over the top. And the forward is down. He got blocked by Mascari. Ran into an elbow, it looks like. Here comes Arsenal. It's Ben White. Plays it to Odegaard. Odegaard goes wide to Madueke. Madueke cross into the box to nobody. This must be the most frustrating player to watch football. Then he's looking at everybody talking about where they should run to. Did you hold your head up to cross the ball? How he plays over anybody is amazing. Like, that's where a management team make a mistake and don't want to admit their mistake. How he's in the game is beyond me. Why is he playing instead of Dalman? You're trying to sign Dalman to a scholarship. You may don't get Dalman frustrated to watch Madueke playing football and making mistakes and still getting game time. Here comes Arsenal again. So Odegaard goes inside to Havertz. Back to Zuamendi. Zuamendi goes back to Gabriel. Come on, Arteta, make some more changes. We're 71 minutes in. Make some more changes. Don't go back to your old way of coaching where you start making changes in the 70th minute and then you have players out there run themselves into the ground. We have 3-0 against Coventry. They haven't given a threat, and you have quality on the bench. Put on Dalman, put on Eze, put on some more players. Mascara all the way back to Raya. We're looking to go along and plays it inside. Good pass into Solis, outside to Havertz. Plays it back to White, back to Havertz, to Odegaard. Odegaard goes to Mascara, comes across to Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly goes wide to Califiori. Goes to Gabriel, to Lewis Kelly, who turns brilliantly. His man is down and plays it inside to Zuamendi, who goes outside to out of bounds. Out of bounds coming forward. Out of bounds looking to shoot. He plays it inside to Odegaard, who tries a chip. Not sure what he was doing. And here comes Odegaard again. There's a chance to go across field to Solis. Solis goes wide to Califiori. Califiori inside to Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly with a brilliant pass to Califiori. Almost got it on goal. Just like against the City game, that pass was there. Maybe Califiori started running a little bit late. He played inside Lewis Kelly. He started his run. He played it between the legs of the player. That's why Califiori didn't set a pass. That was a brilliant pass. Very difficult for him to see that. 73rd minute of play. Arsenal leading by 3-0. Mr. Blake, how you doing? Langsley, how you doing, Langsley? '73rd minute in, Arsenal leading by 3-0. Antonio is gonna play for some team, isn't it? I think he has a contract with somebody. I forgot who it is. But I think Antonio still he can play at a decent level. So throw in to Coventry, deep into the box, head up by Arsenal. It goes for another throw. Usain Bolt not really baller. I'm thinking a baller, but you know really baller. Watch him play. Him halfway decent. He's not as good as you think he is. Long throwing again to the box of Coventry. Headed up by Arsenal. Come on, Arteta, make some more changes. Ball played up by Arsenal. Pressure by Coventry. Coventry in possession, but not really going anywhere. 75th minute, score still tied. Arsenal leading by 3-0. Yeah, Peter, I think I saw that someplace actually. I don't think he was happy with West Ham by how they treated him. So change is going to be made. Eze and Marina coming in. I assume Odegaard and Lewis Kelly coming out is my assumption. No, Sol is coming out. So they're going to put Eze on the left. Interesting. And Marina coming in for who? Odegaard. Okay. So Eze will go left and Marina will go 10, I guess. I'm not sure where they're going. I'm sure they know where they're going. Solis had a good game. He may have been Arsenal's best player, actually. And Lewis Kelly's still in the game. Young, fit. Lewis Kelly's still playing the 6, not Zubimendi, which is interesting. Gabriel goes all the way back to Raya. Raya trying to go long, trying to find Madueke. Ball controlled by Havertz. Yes. Goes wide to Madueke. He comes inside, goes back inside to Zubimendi, who crosses, headed out, poor cross by Zubimendi. Really poor cross, actually. Coventry turns it over again to Madueke. Comes inside, plays the Havertz, one to Madueke. Madueke comes back. Good ball into Havertz to Marino. Marino looking to shoot, trying to push it in the far corner. Had a chance to go far post to Eze and decided not to. Maresca fighting. Good play by Coventry forward. Number 16, who is can't even see his name here. Or is it number 15? Kitchen. Coventry. Not really. They haven't tested Raya all game as yet, which is interesting. They can't play this ready for the rest of the season. It's going to be a long season. Marino, I'm not sure where Marino is playing. Looks like he's playing the 10, actually, with Eze playing on the left. So Eze maybe sold this is back up on the left. Good fight by Zomende, but Coventry retains possession coming forward. Ball play out wide. Arsenal is stretched. Good cover by Mascara. Mascara's had a very, very good game. Very, very good game. Nitro says, Westport close to my heart. Always loaded with black player John Barnes and Luda Blissett. Yes, that is true. Yep. Before Barnes went to Liverpool, he was there. By the way, people, if you haven't hit the like button, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you haven't shared the channel, also please do so. Here comes Coventry trying to get in. Mascara plays it out. So Mende, like he's fouled, but he plays it out to Gabriel, who should have gone wide to Califiori, decided not to, goes wide to Mascara. Mascara's had a very good game. Mascara goes back to Raya. Raya looking to go long. Plays it back to Mascara. Goes out to White. There's a space in the middle. No one is covering it there. White goes all the way across to Marino, who turned. Marino had a very good World Cup. Didn't play a lot, but when he played, he was effective. Eze and Califiori. Califiori goes out to Eze. Eze almost turns it over. Goes to Marino. Marino goes inside to Eze. Eze goes back to Lewis Kelly, back to Eze. Eze goes across field to Ben White. Ben White goes to Madueke. Eze's in the box along with Marino. I'm sorry, with Havertz. Lewis Kelly goes outside to Ben White. Go outside to Madueke. Madueke looking, plays it inside to Zuamende, who goes outside to Ben White. Ben White looking to cross. Cross far post. Good cross by Ben White. Headed up by Coventry. Out of bounds. Throw into Arsenal and Califiori. If you just join us, we're in the 80th minutes of play. Arsenal, opening game of the Premier League season. They're the prohibitive favorite to retain their title. They're leading Coventry by 3-0. Seems like Arsenal making their final change. Califiori coming out. Must be Nkapi coming in, I would assume. Yep, trying to keep everybody happy. It's going to be a long season. So Arsenal final change. Califiori out and Nkapi in. So Lewis Kelly will play the entire game. Interesting for a player who was being sold, supposed to be being offered to get some game time. Ball cross, Zuamende to Madueke trying to shoot and change his mind. Go across field to shot by Gabriel, and he took a shot like he took his penalty in the Champions League final. It only knows one place, way over the bar. Looked like Coventry also making their final change. Yep, they made their final change. Substitution by Coventry. We're in the 82nd minute, and Hammer will get about 8 minutes of run. I might look like he's eating too many hamburgers. So Havertz will play the entire game also, which I find interesting. No Gokares today. That's very interesting. I think you want to give your strikers game time. Maybe he's being considered to be sold also, even though he's in the squad. Lewis Kelly coming forward. Plays it inside to Eze, who beats about 3 men trying to go through. And he's fouled. Arsenal coming forward again. White to Lewis Kelly to Eze. Back to Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly is very good playing in tight spaces. He's so comfortable in tight spaces. Doesn't look rushed. Always looking for that cutting edge pass. It's going to be hard to get him out this team. When Gimmers is fit and Rice is fit and Odegaard is fit, it's going to be interesting what Arteta's decision is. Does he bench MLS or does he bench one of the more renowned players? '83rd minute or 84th minute, Arsenal leading by 3-0. First game, opening game of Premier League season. Not a spectacular game by Arsenal, a workmanlike game, but they're doing what they need to do. Here comes Zuamende, plays out to Madueke. OOB. OOB, not sure what he wants to do, comes inside. OOB turns it over. OOB creates pressure on his own team. And here comes Iwanoi trying to beat Mascara. Good play by him. Hold up the ball and play back. When is Arteta going to realize that Madueke is not that player? You can get another 4 rating. He's a waste of time. I'm serious. He's that bad. I hate to be lambasting a player and just going to substitute, but he's that bad. His decision making is awful. How are we keeping him instead of Martinelli is beyond me. Makes no sense. Probably think I can get more money for Martinelli, but there's no way Madueke should be playing instead of Martinelli. Coventry trying to go through, but turns it over again. Trying to go over the top by Arsenal. A poor pass, trying to find Havertz. And Havertz is not going to run behind anybody, so not sure we're trying to go over the top trying to find Havertz. Good cross in the box. That should have been a goal by Coventry. That should have been a goal. They should have scored that. That was a clear chance. Nobody was and Cappy was late coming over. He got to put that away. That ball hit him versus him heading the ball. That was number 5, Rudoni. He has to score that. That was a clear chance. He headed it down. Didn't have enough power in it, but that was a chance. I'm sure Arsenal want to have a clean sheet. That was not a good move by Arsenal. I think fans are going to lose their patience with Madueke. He's just not a good player. Here comes Zuamende. Gabriel going to go wide to Nkape. So it looked like Calafiori is now displaced Nkape, who was the regular starting left back last year. I'm telling you, Lewis Kelly doesn't feel pressure. 4 people around him, and he's making the right pass. That's when you know you have a good brain. The brain just works really quickly, always making the good decisions. Ben White has had a good game. Made one poor defensive play, but he's had a decent game, especially offensively. Keeping it ticking over. Lewis Kelly to Madueke, who turns it over again. If he touched 10 ball, he remember me of somebody who played for Jamaica. Touched 10 ball, he turns over 4 of them. I think the person from Jamaica turns over more, but just saying. Havertz to Zuamende to Marino trying to find Eze. I know why Eze didn't try to bring the ball down. He let it bounce and bounce out of bounds. 87 minutes in, Arsenal leading by 3-0. Eze being fouled. Referee did not call it. Not sure why. In Coventry a break, I guess. This Rodona against Eze. Plays it back. Marina trying to pressure. Coventry now keeping the ball in the area and playing it around, but they're not making much progress. This was an easy run out for Arsenal today. It's like a practice game. Here comes Coventry. Have numbers. You will know he tripped up. Referee calls a foul. Is that Ben White? You would know he can be dangerous. He scored against Arsenal when he plays for Nottingham Forest. So, yeah, he was gone a while ago against Mascara. And Mascara sometimes is not aware of people running behind him, i.e. Kvaratskhelia in the Champions League final. Got to be aware of that sprint behind you. Free kick to Coventry, 89th minute. Arsenal leading by 3-0. 2 goals scored in the first half, 1 early second half. And Coventry just had a chance. They probably should have put that header away. That made the game more interesting. So free kick to Coventry. Raya parsing out the instructions to his teammates. Not a good free kick. Poor. As poor as you get. Out of bounds. Goal kick to the Arsenal. A lot of smiles on the Arsenal bench. Very good question, Nitro. Don't know. Good question. Not in the first team, not being sold, nothing. It's a very good question. Here comes Madueke, but it won't go anywhere. Plays inside to Havertz. A good turn by Merino. Shot saved by the keeper. Merino also does a good job of playing in tight spaces. Quick decision. Madueke came forward, played inside to Merino, who turned his man nicely, tried to shoot. Probably should have laid it off to Eze, actually. Would have been a better decision. He wasn't in a position to shoot. Good move by Mascara to Myles Lewis Kelly, who tried to go inside to Eze. That pass was never on. Now Onyeka against Lewis Kelly, and Capia recovers. Arsenal backing off too much. Ball out of bounds, goal kick to the Arsenal. We're in the 90th minute of play, 91st minute. 4 minutes of extra time. Arsenal leading by 3-0. So this has been a walk in the park for Arsenal. Easy game, easy run out, opening game, haven't been tested. It'll be a tougher season than people think, actually. I think still Arsenal, they need a number 9 and a backup for Saka. Definitely need a number 9. Good pressure by Arsenal. Coventry trying to play out of bounds, throwing to the Arsenal. We have 2 minutes remaining in the game. Arsenal leading by 3-0. Good run out, good practice game. Arsenal had a tough preseason, apart from the Community Shield. They got slaughtered by Real Betis. They lost to Dortmund. But season has started, and they're going to have their first victory of the season. And his squad is very strong. No Guimaraes today. Out injured, it seems. But Miles Lewis Kelly deputized really well. He's deputizing. I'm not sure how it's going to work going forward. Here comes Nkape. Going to go back to inside to Miles Lewis Kelly. Goes wide to White. Come back inside to Lewis Kelly. Goes across field to Gabriel. Nkape looking across. Goes down the wing. Should have crossed it. Didn't. Ball played inside. And here comes ball turnover. Goes to Eze. Eze coming forward. Play to Marino, who's been chopped down from behind. Free kick to Arsenal. We have 17 seconds remaining in the game. My clock says 19. It's almost over. Coventry almost been put out of their misery. It's been a long afternoon for them. They play the champions of England and probably the second best team in football, frankly. Some may say Real Madrid, some may say Barcelona, but Arsenal were in the final Champions League last year and they've gotten stronger. Free kick to be taken by Eze. I don't think he's going to shoot from this far. We're going to try to go far outside where Marino and Gabriel and Mosquera are located. He tried to go for goal. And it looks like it's a corner. Actually, it's blocked. Oh, that's it. Game, set, and match. Arsenal has won first game of the Premier League season, beating Coventry by 3-0. Goal scored by Havertz, by Saka, and by Odegaard. Not a bad run out for Arsenal. And they should feel good about themselves, actually. They should feel good about themselves. Easy game, comfortable game, not challenged. They should feel good that they have put Coventry to the sword. So if we're to do a quick recap of the game before I close down the program, I would say it was not the best opener, not the most exciting game, but it's a Friday afternoon game. Arsenal did what they need to do, what they had to do, and they go on with going forward. They go on with what they did what they need to do. They won the game. They won pretty comfortably. They were the better team. And they showed their class. As I said, my stats may be a little bit off because of the source I get them from. But you can see that the stats where Arsenal were just by far the better team. I think I'm going to see what stats SofaScore also has. See if it's different from what I have. But you can see Arsenal were by far today the better team. Coventry's going to have a long season. You know, there are predictions about who will be relegated this season. And they have to be one of those teams. If you just come from the championship, you haven't spent a ton of money, it's going to be tough for you to maintain your position in the league. Very, very tough. So we'll see what happens with Coventry, but it's going to be a long season. As for Arsenal, I thought they played within themselves. Skipper says, I'm really convinced to get rid of Madueke. Madueke has been poor. He's been Arsenal's poorest player this preseason. Like really, really bad. I don't think people realize how bad he has been. He got a 4 in the Community Shield. That's hard to get. Everybody played well. So I don't know what's going to happen with him. But it's going to be a long season for him. Long season. But you see the stats where Arsenal dominated possession, XG's better. I think the XG for should be a little bit higher. Coventry did get one opportunity. So the total shots on targets, passes made, Arsenal was just the better team. Coventry wasn't even offside once. Showed you how much they got forward. Nitro said, a stroll in the park. Well done. Yes, it's a good opening. That's 3 points in the bag. Can't be taken back. Arsenal will move forward to the next game. So it'll be interesting to see as the season progresses how Arteta rotates his squad. It'll be really interesting to see how he rotates his squad. Because he has a lot of players on the bench who are used to starting. Marino, Guimaraes. Well, Guimaraes wasn't on the bench today. But Marino, Eze, and Cape, who started a lot last year. Their next game is next Saturday against Aston Villa. That's a big game because even though Villa have lost Onana, they have lost Talisman, they have lost Rodgers, they still, and Holly Watkins is not being with the team because he's thinking about going to Saudi Arabia. They brought in some young players with some quality, and they gave PSG all they could handle in the cup where Europa League winner played the Champions League winner. In fact, I think Villa should have won that game. They have this forward up front. What's his name? Moja? 17-year-old, big, strong, physical. McGinn and others are playing well. So Villa still has a decent team, even though they've lost Konza. They may lose Martinez. They lost a lot of players. Kamara is back. McGinn playing well. They have brought some decent young players too, so we'll see how that goes. They lost Konza. Yeah, they lost Konza also, but they wouldn't have sold unless they had replacement. Right? They still have Ming. They still have Torres. They still have a number of players. They also lost the left back that went to PSG. His name is escaping me now. Luka Dean. So they've lost quite a bit of players, actually. But at the same time, Emery is really, really good at what he does. He knows talent. He's a good coach. And he will get them prepared. Gokares didn't get 5 minutes today. Is that meaningful? He looks solemn. He's clapping the fans, but he doesn't look happy. Well, they were, but they have raised about 200 million, right? They got 30-something for Tillsman. They got 115 for Rodgers. They got 50 for Konza. That's about 200 million right there. They shouldn't be under too much pressure. Now, they may have overspent last season, but they shouldn't be under too much pressure. And they haven't spent a ton this season, right? They've probably spent, I forgot how much they spent, but they spent some money, but they haven't spent 200 million, that's for sure. And they have also probably lost some of their higher earners like Rodgers and Konza. So they probably buy players cheaper and at lower wages. So they should be okay, I think. They should be okay. But as I said, Arsenal, we play Villa, then they play Chelsea, then they play Sunderland, Brighton. So they have a tough September. Obviously, we have isn't there a window in September for, there's a FIFA window after September 19th. And Jamaica have Nations League. I wonder how Jamaica's recruiting is coming along. Should get some information on that. But I would probably be doing some more shows, not only football actually, on other subjects going forward. I will be back. I may come back Sunday to do the game between, is it Newcastle and Liverpool? I may do that game. If I have some time, I may do that game, actually. But before you leave, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the channel. Bring people to the channel, people. We're trying to improve the numbers. Numbers have become stagnant or regressing, actually. So hit the like button, share, and we'll probably do some more call-ins, too, to get your perspective and your views on things. So thanks for being here. I appreciate you being here. It's been a good opening by the champions. Let's hope their good play continue. They have been picked as perennial favorites to win this year, rightly or wrongly. Everybody, I don't think I've seen anyone who didn't pick Arsenal to win, actually. And that may be good, but is that reality? Will they truly win this year? Because the last time we saw this, we saw Liverpool, we heard how great Liverpool was, they spent 450 million, and they end up finishing double-digit points behind Arsenal because they were They had injuries, but also didn't play well. So Niger says, we need to convince Osimhen, but hard to pay 20 mil per year. We can pay it. He's a center forward. Mr. Axtion Entertainment. That's what it's going to be easy a year actually for a lot of games, but we have a tough game coming up against Villa and Chelsea after that. It's going to be a tough season. I totally agree with that. Auntie Yumi, I totally agree with that. So this looks like our best player today to me, frankly. He gets the ball and he has one intention, drive. But when he's driving towards the goal, he's also thinking. Unlike Madueke, and especially unlike Martinelli, and especially unlike Madueke, he has an idea what he wants to do, and he can pivot his thoughts in the middle of making decisions, which is something that Madueke has the inability to do, frankly. But yeah, no, Arsenal is a good team. We didn't have Guimaraes today. Actually, Guimaraes, and we have no Saliba, no Guimaraes, and we still look pretty comfortable, pretty easy. So I'm going to sign off by saying, please hit the like button before you go. Please subscribe. I will be back on Sunday, hopefully, to do the Newcastle versus Liverpool game. That should be a good game. Nitro says Spurs building a good squad. Yes, they are actually. Well, they're building a good squad, but I think they're overpaying a lot for players. Fernandes is not worth 85 million. There is no way in you know what hell that Savino is worth 80 million plus add-ons. And they're probably going to play similar number for Mamouche. And Mamouche is on big wages. Savino scored 1 goal last year. I'm not sure what he scored the year before. He's a good player. He's a decent player. He has skills, but 80 million? What are we drinking? I would say this. Compared to City, Arsenal is clueless in the transfer window when it comes to selling players. If you sell Savino for 80 million, Martinelli is worth 150 million. Like Savino is no way in hell is worth more than 40 million. None. No, Martinelli can't get Martinelli. They're going to sell Martinelli. Martinelli won't be in the team this year. It doesn't look like. Because if Saliba is out, if Guimaraes is out, and he can't make the bench, they put in Nwaneri versus him. That means they plan to sell him. I think they want to sell Martinelli. I would think Martinelli may go to Atletico Madrid for Alvarez and about 50 million pounds. I know people talk about Gyökeres, but maybe they give them Gyökeres and Martinelli for Alvarez, but I think Arsenal are going to sell Martinelli. That's why he's not in the squad. Because we have no backup left winger. They're putting Eze out there, but Eze is not a left winger. He's going to always drift inside. Hey guys, so anyway, let me sign off by saying I appreciate you being here. Thanks for being here. It's been a good game. Well done to the Arsenal for winning the opening game of the season. And hopefully, going forward, it will be one of those comfortable seasons. Because last season was very uncomfortable. I didn't enjoy most of the game. We were on needles and pins and get concerned and nervous in games. I don't like that. I like to win comfortably. I like to sit back, relax, and just enjoy some good football. So let's hope that changes this year and we play better. All right, everyone? Hit the like button before you leave. Subscribe to the channel and share the channel. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your afternoon or your evening. Peace out.